Let's just run it, guys. Butcher Babies. Jesus needs more babies for his war machine, featuring Charlie Benante. This is Shadow of Death's request. Let's hear it.
And please welcome to the Butcher Babies family, Charlie Benante.
Oh, it's the drummer for Slayer. All right, I love Charlie's like Iron Maiden coffin in the background. I think that's what it is. Okay, Heidi and Carla as like a metal duo, they kind of cover all the bases vocally, right? Yeah, it's like definitely like a live stream mix. I hear you, grunge. Oh, and Carla's boyfriend. That makes sense. How you get into the band here or get into the show. Oh my gosh. All right, both of them have this awesome, rich, like fold, like vocal fold scream. That screech is so like it's clean in a way that it's so seamless to go back from their, especially what Heidi did right at the beginning when she was introducing Charlie. It was such a clean transition from the clean vocals to the screech that it made it just, you just feel it. You feel it so well. Like it has so much more impact, and it's not its own isolated thing when it can be moved back and forth between the clean vocals and like the heavy vocals. Oh my gosh. FBI has joined the chat. This is a really good example of some singers who are so like affirmed in their technique, and they demonstrate that like virtuosic presence. You know, there's nothing, we can't see what's going on with their bodies, right? It's like webcam view. But it's such, yeah, exactly. It's such a consistent scream. And their facial posture, right? If you're relying on facial posture to kind of understand what vocal technique is happening, the facial posture is like so crisp and clean. If you look at both, let's see if we can get some stills of both of them while they're doing it. Like Heidi's not even overextending anything in her actual singing. Like eyes open, mouth is actually really well placed for a good like forward acoustic. Like keeping those lips pursed a little bit helps the sound become more narrow and actually come out in a more resonant way. And that probably helps. You know, you see a lot of people going like, oh, when they're doing growls and deep stuff like that. But it's, the face is completely independent of the scream that's going on. Metal calms you so much. Wait. Not necessarily. Getting high on the gospel may result in quite a similar state of mental sanity as getting high on metalish rageness, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the energetic passion in both styles, I think can be kind of rooted in how the vocalism works, but also stylistically, both are engineered musically. Like if you look at it in a music theory way, the chord progressions, the tempo, the different, I mean, I guess the passion in the singing is probably the biggest commonality. But anyway, gospel tends to infuriate me over time. Maybe. But yeah, look how relaxed her face is. Her eyes are wide open. The mechanism is independent of what's happening, facially, dramatically, I would say, but that's exciting. That's part of that virtuosity. If you're ever working towards a specific type of vocalism, letting your face not show any sign is going to be a huge helping factor to that. Now Carla is showing a little. Now Carla is, I think she's in the same boat, but she's adding a little more dramatism to her face, like the scowl she has on her face. Again, independent of the voice, right? The sound she's making, she's opening a little bit more. She's showing more of her upper teeth. She's keeping her tongue way forward. That's to help keep that vocal fold independent of what's happening with the jaw and the tongue. Because you can create that scream in a healthy way, but you don't want it to be crushed. You just want it to be literally a relaxation of the vocal cords that allows for the air to go through in a way that brings the chords together in that screech sound, that scream sound. Both of them have such awesome tongue positioning. If you're dismantling a beginner singer's technique, tongue position, jaw tension, breath support, and facial posture. Those are the things you can literally just teach through visuals alone to help free up the voice. Then you can start adding style and that kind of thing on. These are two examples of people, and the fact that we have such up close views because it's a live stream scenario. These are probably pre-recorded now that I'm thinking about it, but regardless, because it's a live stream scenario, we got such good insight onto how they're able to do that. And because they're doing that unconventional kind of alternative phonation, that metal phonation, that grit singing, we're able to kind of analyze the thing behind it. And if you have that kind of independence in the face, it really tells us, if we're doing our vocal discovery work, it's telling us that the voice is being purely driven by breath. They're both very fit people. It makes sense. It's literally one vowel. It's either ah or ah. Or my sha, or my sha, or my sha, or my sha. Allows the tongue to be the most relaxed, to be in the most relaxed position while she's doing it. Most Rammstein lyrics are very compatible with gospel, TBH. I think some of their poetic irony and their dramatic irony that they keep in their stuff naturally has compatibility with gospel music. Or at least it has that. It ironically uses the idea of connection in the themes. That's a broad statement, so don't quote me on that. Look how small the space is between the top of her tongue and the roof of her mouth. If you put the back of your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, you can kind of feel, again, that part of disconnect between the vocal folds and the actual mandible. This is a cool, little rare little clip that we can draw from.
Europe, even though we can't be together right now, we are one big metal fucking family.
Yeah.
I want to see my brothers and my sisters with those virtual horns in the sky.
That's dark with her. So the clean vocal she's bringing is like really breathy. It's very actually similar to the type of phonation quality that is needed for the screech. But specifically, since we talked a lot about the scream, I want to talk about Carla's clean vocals that are happening now for the first-ish time. We're approaching the 2/3 mark, so this is probably something like the bridge. Her tongue is literally like resting over the bottom teeth. Like, instead of like, she's not like this, she's like this. Right? She's singing. If you're having a tough time figuring out tongue tension, that's the trick. The tongue over the bottom teeth. In order to keep it there while singing, you need to disconnect that muscle in your head. Okay. So like how does this happen where we get like a super long sustained like belted gospel note and we're like, wow, that's long. And then she literally does it again. Well, she was singing the word for, but it was really just ah. And let's see how long it was. I want to go back. Again, it was about like 13, 14, 15 seconds. I probably lost like the actual beat, but yeah. Powerwolf, All We Need Is Blood. I could consider it. We've listened to Powerwolf before. I love that she goes between the screams and like that. There's an ah scream and there's an aw scream, right? And and it changes the color. It's like a really artistic way to scream. Maybe that's a weird way of putting it. But she goes back and forth between the ass scream and the off scream. Maybe there's a technical reason. Maybe it like depressurizes, or you can like shift back and forth to like release pressure a little bit. But I just think it's really interesting. It's cool. If someone wants to send me a DM of that, I'm not gonna do it now, but I can maybe squeeze it in to the queue because you asked nicely. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that's the video. That's the video. And yeah, Shadow of Death, thank you for that.